foundational belief is that we must live our life in balance. To live up to our fullest potential as a human being, we need to be living in balance. The house is a representation of our body, of us as a human being. So each one of those posts needs to be in balance. So our spiritual and emotional needs to have as much priority as our mental and our physical. There's lots of symbolism around balance and around the main posts of the house. And 4 is a very sacred number to Indigenous people. 4 seasons, 4 cycles in life, 4 directions, 4 main races on the planet. So 4s come up over and over and over throughout our history. Next slide. So going back to us being whole and living up to our fullest potential as a human being impacts the next 7 generations. So anything I say, anything I do, any way I behave as a human being impacts the next 7 generations.
Now I see the pride coming back. I see our young people going to university. I see more participation instead of the shame that we had, trying to be white so we could fit in. I see more pride happening now. Our young people are proud to be First Nations. I see it everywhere now. With the help of Tillicum-Lelum, with the help of First Nation studies, with the help of the elders trying to help the young people. Even us, I never knew my culture. I only started getting in touch with it in these later years, in the few years before my dad died.
I was taken away from my parents and put in Fort Alberta Residential School in Fernmont. And the very first night that I was there, my abuser came at me. The very first night that I was there, I was very afraid. And I woke up to this man fondling me and telling me you were having a bad dream. And there was a slow seduction, I guess you could say, by this man to further abuse me sexually. I wasn't the only one, there were others with me. And that's kind of the secret that you didn't tell anybody. And I carried it for decades.
Start with our own families, and I totally agree. Get rid of the electronics and get back to the family core, which I think we've lost in our communities, in our society. And from there, from our individual families, will start affecting our communities, and from our communities, it will just increase across Canada. And then, once there's healing, spiritual healing from hurt, from damage that was done in the past, then we can start growing and healing as a country, as a community, as a family.
I work at Bayview School, so we try to do a lot to teach everyone the culture. That's why I'm saying adults are sometimes predisposed to, and I'm afraid that it trickles down to the children. So that's why it's important I think, to start at the children's level, in kindergarten or before.
I don't totally agree.
No? Okay.
I agree, but I wouldn't limit it to only the children, because I witness seniors who may be 70 or 75, and they will voice such a racial comment about First Nations persons, like very derogatory, and that trickles from them to the parents, to the grandchildren, to the great-grandchildren. So
I'm totally saying.
First Nations, though, we were so connected to it, like our spirits were so connected to the forest, to the oceans, to the animals. So they'd come and talk to us, and we'd understand them, right? No other people really could. And now we've lost that connection too. A lot of us have. We've disconnected ourselves from it by not listening to them at all. Whereas now, with my spirituality, what I'm trying to put out there is nothing but positive and good. And I catch myself having little negative things, whatever, try to take it back, but it's already out in the universe already, right? So it all does start with yourself, to work on your being, your core, bring it up. And yeah, what I'm trying to do is just lead by example. And I've come from probably one of the worst places ever in my life to where I'm at now. I couldn't even sit in a circle like this just last year to talk like this. Here I'm on my journey and I feel comfortable with it, just being honest. Starting with being honesty is the best thing with yourself and with your family. My kids are a big help with me, so yeah, I'm on my journey and I'm hoping it'll carry on this way. Just being honest with yourself. It starts with yourself.
And our second thought was building mutual respect. And I think that that's the next step to wellness. When you respect yourself, you can respect others, and not only when you can internally and truly and at peace love yourself, because I think that we've carried so much shame over the years that when you're able to eliminate that shame in your life, then you can not only love yourself, but you can in turn love one another as well.
Our group worked on the community aspect of the emotional quadrant. Our first idea was just like a family group, safety, having a non-judgmental place to go where people can be trusted, listened to with an empathetic ear. The second idea was resources, having these resources readily available in the community, and having a way to network and getting that information out to the community. Our third idea was aftercare, which includes a maintenance plan. We thought this might look like having some small neighborhood gatherings or celebration.
Authenticity. We're finding that acceptance and self-awareness, dealing with some of the ugly truths, as was touched on earlier today, being able to find these things and then being able to live that out, and then in getting to a place of being able to live that out, finding value in self, finding value in the fact that it is possible for me to have something positive. It is possible for me to accept that I am lovable and capable.
Well, in my work as chaplain at Nanaimo Correctional Center, I do have a fair amount of interaction with First Nations population. And even though myself, I've done a number of programs and work with Native people in the past, still I find it valuable to gain as much knowledge and I guess information as possible. I consider those tools, gain as many tools as possible to be able to help people find what they need to have more positive things in their life, to have a better quality of life, so that they can, have a better legacy to pass on and share to others.
The future looks very hopeful, because reconciliation is not about conforming or assimilating. Reconciliation is about respect and awareness of our diversity in Canada. In this, in central Vancouver Island, like we're a diverse people, yeah, I have a lot of hope for this community. I have a lot of hope for the families, for the individuals. It's this is just the beginning, and I'm sure there's going to be an expression of interest to have more of this type of gathering take place.
I never believed in my wildest dreams that I had a racial bias in my body until I walked through this door and realized how ignorant I was.
I was taught that reservations, and again, forgive me for the words, were dirty, and that people didn't care about their families, and that they were just put there. I didn't understand. When I was growing up, I was told that Indians were dirty. I was told they were drunks, that they didn't know any better. I'm a Canadian. I'm not as proud as I once was this moment, and yet I feel no guilt. This day, you changed me. This day, you gave me an opportunity to take this message to somebody else. There is no mistake that the rains today are here for a reason, because every drop are the ancestors in joy for the moment that we get to share together. Because of you and this amazing group that I've shared today with, I get the blessing to work with other people every day and share this message. Because of you and your bravery to step forth and tell your stories, to share your wisdom, and for us simply to have an opportunity to have compassion and dialogue, I'm a changed person, and I can help change someone else. It has been a privilege to be in this room today. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.